Hello, hello.
Hello.
Yes, my name is name.
Uh, I'm Hayate. My English name is Harris.
It's nice
Nice
to
to meet you.
meet you. How are you?
I'm good, and you?
I'm good, thank you. And where are you from?
I'm from Japan, west side of Japan, Osaka. Exactly. Do you where Osaka?
I have heard of it, but I've never been there.
Mm.
And
It's
are
a
you
good person. Yep.
are you working or studying?
I'm working as a Navy officer in Japan.
Okay. And so the lesson for today is art IELTS speaking part 1.
Mhm. Yes.
Okay. If you are unfamiliar with IELTS, what is IELTS?
Uh, uh, I know this page.
Okay. The format of part 1. The examiner will introduce themselves and will check your identity. The focus is on your ability to express your opinions on common topics. Common topics include home, family, work, studies, and your interests. Part 1 lasts 4 to 5 minutes.
Mm.
The IELTS rubric. Are you planning on taking the exam soon?
No, actually, maybe in 6 months or 7 months. 7 months.
And do you know what score you would like to get?
Uh, I wanna get the 7 or 7.5 in speaking.
Okay, so maybe we'll say 7. So
Yeah.
only read number 7.
Mhm. Okay.
Okay. Review art, vocabulary, and phrases. With your tutor, review the pronunciation and meaning of these terms. Adjectives. Inspired.
Mm.
What is inspired?
Inspired. Inspired. I feel um, like uh, I'm inspired by these paintings or something.
Maybe, yeah. Motivated. What is motivated?
Motivated. I think almost means inspired.
It's
Not.
similar. It was a little different though. You could be motivated to change your job, motivated to start a project. Inspired is more the creativity side of it.
Creativity side.
So it's more connected
Mm.
with creative.
Inspired is so for this part art.
I mean, they're all sort of connected, but motivation comes from within and inspiration comes from somewhere else.
Mm. Someone else.
Yeah, so the motivated is more like inside of you. You feel motivated because you want to be motivated. Inspired is somebody or something showed you something or told you something, and now you feel that you can do something you couldn't do before, like a new painting or write a song or book or project.
Like you motivated me to study English more or
It
something.
could be, yeah. And now you're inspired to try a new method of learning that you didn't do before. Or maybe you did do it before, but you might have stopped and now you're going to continue. So it could be that also. It doesn't have to be a new idea, it could be an old idea that is new again.
I knew, knew. Mm.
And then
Motivated. Okay.
passionate.
Passion is passionate. Yeah, I think this is also similar meanings.
I would say passionate is more like the love of something or someone. If you really love your job or love your hobby, you're very passionate. You're very interested in learning and doing more in this thing that you do.
So I'm passionate uh, with my work. What?
It could be. Some people are.
Uh, it is it, does it work? Does it work? Means I am passionate uh, with blah blah blah
Yes,
or
I'm
agree.
passionate about
I'm
blah blah blah.
passionate about my job. I'm passionate about reading books. Or,
Reading, yes, that's right. You could be passionate about reading any book, just the reading passion, or you could be passionate about one kind of book.
one kind of. Mm-hmm.
So maybe you like science fiction books or you like business books. That's your passion.
Mm. Specifically, just one for one.
One type or one style or
One
one
style
genre.
or something. One genre.
So passionate has different levels. You could be passionate of everything or just passionate of only one thing.
Mm. Uh, it means like I love blah blah blah.
Yes,
I like
you love and you're very curious or interested
curious. Uh, okay,
and creative.
creative means creative. Mm, creative. Uh, I cannot say in English. Uh, I feel like I just say a creative activity. Create. That's a creative. I know that meaning, but I can explain it, the meanings.
I would say creative is that feeling that's in everyone, but it's different in everyone. And what it is
Ah,
it allows you to do something in a special way that nobody else can do it the same as you. And everyone is unique. Everyone has this inside of them. For some people, they can draw or paint or sing or play an instrument or play football, but they do it in a way that's very special.
oh, and so it's kind of unique.
It yes, it always is unique
Mm.
because if everyone is creative in the same way, then it's not really creative anymore. It's just the same. So it's a unique trait of a person.
Mm. Uh, it's like original way, original.
Oh yeah, they're an original person. Yes, an original thinker, original writer. That also is creative.
Mm.
And then the verbs to adore,
To adore, uh, like to love. I love that brother. I like
very
that brother.
strong love, very I would say
Pretty
connected
strong.
with passionate.
Mm.
Very similar meanings.
So meaning.
But I think the one difference between the two would be adore is more about the love, whereas passionate it could be love, but it could also be curiosity or fascination or interest with love also. So it's more than just love. Whereas adore, it's love, very strong love that doesn't have the other aspect.
Which is more which is more feel like love, uh, stronger,
Stronger,
passionate, and to adore.
I would say adore is stronger because it's very
Adore.
strong love. So then I would say, what what motivates you? Are you
Mm.
motivated because you love your job? Or are you motivated because you love to make money? And so, is it your passion because you adore your job, or you just want to make money? So the passionate is more the money. The adore would be I love my job because of my job. Even if they paid me nothing, I still would do the work and I love it. That's the adore.
So, uh,
It's much stronger.
so mushroom. So I adore my daughter.
Yes, you would not say you're passionate for your daughter. No,
Mhm.
you are you adore. That would be right. Because the adoration or to adore something is also to adore someone. It could be both.
Mm.
Passionate about
Mhm.
someone, it could be if you are passionate in learning about someone in school, maybe history, or maybe if you're a musician, you're passionate on being more like another musician or style of music. Or if you're an athlete, football or basketball player, you're passionate about a certain player and you want to be more like
Um,
them. That could be true also, but most of the time it's more like I adore this person or I adore this thing.
and passion means including respect.
Maybe I would assume that if you are passionate of someone, you probably do respect them. So yeah, it's kind of it's assumed. It's like a given. Like of course, if you're really passionate about something, you probably do respect them. But I think also on the other side, it may not always be the case now that I think about it, because if you are a journalist and you are passionate about journalism and learning about everything, then it's possible that you might want to be interviewing or passionate about maybe some controversial topics or whatever. So that kind of passion is more about the work than it is about the person or the topic. And so it may not always be about respect. So that I think is an exception. It's like if you're a journalist who only interviews maybe criminal people or whatever, I'm not sure that that journalist really respects those criminals, but for some reason that's their job. They just really good at getting interviews with like organized crime or crime. So I don't think they would respect them, but they're just passionate about the topic, learning more
Passion,
about that. So that's an exception, I think.
curious or
Yeah, that's the
interested,
curiosity.
curiosity.
So I don't think they would respect them in that
Uh,
case.
okay.
Yeah, so there's always exceptions.
Mhm.
But I think, yeah, that's a good example. And then to create.
To create, to make something,
Yeah, make something new or something out of nothing,
something
a
new,
new idea, and then you create it.
a new idea.
It could be an idea you've never done before, or it could be an idea you've done already, maybe to make it like create. You could also create like a recipe, or so if you
So,
create a recipe, then the recipe didn't exist. This is a new creation. But if you create a cake, then the cake is based on the recipe. So that's not a new creation in that it didn't exist. The idea didn't
yeah.
exist, but the object didn't exist. So there is now a cake on the table that was cooked and baked and decorated and it was created because it wasn't there before. So that's a creation.
Um,
But the idea was there because there's already a recipe. Someone else has already created it hundreds of times and you're just copying that, but you have now with your own hands created it.
create, I can say I created a cake, which is which is not made made by someone before.
It's yeah, it's possible. A completely new and original idea.
Different.
The
Um,
flavor, the appearance, the size, the shape, all of that could be a new idea. Or it could just be an old idea that you decided to create because now it wasn't there before, it wasn't existing before, but now it exists because you created it. It's your cake.
Patisserie created new cake with with amazing appearance.
Yeah, that would, and that would be more that's the creative side. So create, you start with something new that wasn't there before, and the wasn't there before, it could mean either a new idea that wasn't there before or an object that wasn't there before, but the idea was there, just the object wasn't. So you made something of nothing. So creative people will create a new idea. And then maybe you could say motivated or passionate people will create an old idea but make it appear all of suddenly. So there's different ways to interpret some of these words. But I think the most common would be if you're an artist, then you create a song. You adore your work as a musician or a painter. So that would be the more common way to interpret it, but there are other ways as well. And then to have a passion for something.
Passion or something else. For me, huh? Sorry.
So the passion for something is connected with passionate.
Okay, that one. Passion for something.
And then,
To have passion. Oh, okay. Sorry.
and the person who thinks outside the box, I would say that's a very creative person. Maybe
Oh,
inspired as well, but it's more creative.
and it's more creative.
It's more, it's closer to creative, but it could be an inspired person also. Like if you're sleeping and you have a
Hey.
dream, and in that dream you get an idea, and then you wake up from the dream, and then you write it down on your paper, and then you try to do what came to you in a dream. An example could be someone who, again, they write music, and so they're sleep, and this is very common. A lot of the music writers, they're sleeping, and then the song comes to them in a dream. And then, so that is a sign of that they were inspired, and they're also thinking outside the box, because normally just sitting and thinking didn't give them the song, but sleeping and having a dream did. So that's very different from most people.
Oh, how can I use this phrase to think of outside the box?
Um, I would say that one of the best examples that I can think of was Steve Jobs. This was a person who really thunk outside the box. He had very creative ideas with the Apple computer and the iPhone, iPod, all of that. But this is a guy who really thought outside the box. Like maybe the industry and the
Okay,
business
outside.
said, do it like this. And he said, no, I'm going to do it like this. So,
Uh, Steve Jobs thought outside the box and created the Apple products.
right. I think that's a very good example. And then a picture is worth a
Features,
thousand words.
features. It is that means it's really rare, important. It's really worthy.
It's worthy of attention that you see some picture, and it's not the kind of picture where you just look at it for 1 second and then move on to something else.
Mhm.
It's the kind of picture that you find yourself staring at it for maybe a few minutes and actually thinking and
Mhm.
wondering,
Mhm.
why is this here?
Mhm.
Why is this there? What's going on in this picture? So it's a picture that makes you really think.
This phrase is I can say features what the thousand words or like uh, pictures or a change or something change something picture or paintings or artworks. I can change it.
It could change the mind or the perspective of people. So they see this picture and now they're thinking about the world differently, maybe. So that's
Okay.
what I think would change is the mind of people. The picture doesn't change; it's the mind. And also, if it's a very clever picture, everyone will have a different idea. And so I could look at a picture and tell you this is what I think. Then you look at the same picture, you tell me you think something very differently. So that's also those are the thousand words because I could have a very different mind of what I think of this picture than you or from other people.
Uh, so I will say that I can I change a picture to another words?
Usually it
Uh,
is with pictures. This phrase
a picture.
I don't think
Mm-hmm.
it would go well with anything else. It's usually a
Mm-hmm.
picture. Picture either painting
A
or
picture
that
is
you
you.
took with the
Mm-hmm.
camera.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't imagine it being used with
I
anything.
use this phrase when I see picture painting at the gallery or museum. I say
Usually.
that a picture is worth a thousand words.
It could also, because of the modern era, maybe your friend sent you an Instagram picture or something,
Mm-hmm.
and they took that picture, and
Mm-hmm.
if they took it in a very clever way, or if there's a story behind that picture, then that's an example too. So it doesn't have to be a gallery, it could just be any picture that
Any
it makes
picture.
you really think
Okay.
about because of the way it's presented.
Mm, okay.
And then a work of art.
Work of art, uh, products, uh, that made created by the artist or something, or someone.
I would say a work of art could be so first we'll say art. Art could be anything. It could
Art,
be music, it could be movies, it could be paintings,
music,
pictures, dance, traditional dance, even modern
dance.
dance as well. Architecture, buildings, cities, food,
It's
all
also
of that
work
I
of art.
think would be considered art. So now that we've established what is art, I would say work of art is something that is so amazing that it will be something people will be talking about for a long time and continue to see it and think, wow, this is really special. So it is something that could really stand the test of time. People will not forget about it quickly. They'll still be thinking if they see like a statue or a monument and it's has a deep meaning or it's very beautiful or special, we would consider that a work of art.
Uh, Work of art means mm, every kind of products by for create products by artists or someone.
Yeah, it could be any form of art.
Okay, any form of art.
We could
Okay,
say a song is a work of art. We
sound.
could say this meal that somebody cooked
Meal.
was a work of art.
Mhm.
Visually, it looks beautiful.
Mhm.
It tastes really good. That's a work of art.
Mhm.
A
Okay.
little clay statue, or even a doll or a
Great
toy.
statue.
If somebody made
Oh,
it, then you say, "Oh, that's a work of art. That's beautiful. That's
work of
really
art.
nice."
Mhm.
And then interested in.
Interesting. Like I'm interested in art. I'm interested
Yes, exactly.
in movie.
Right, and passionate is stronger than interested in, but they are related to each other. They're very similar.
Oh,
The passionate is just
sim-
stronger.
passionate. is stronger than intercity.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm interested in going to school. I am
And
passionate
yeah,
about learning.
I'm passionate about learning. I'm passionate about learning.
Fascinated by.
Fascinated is be attracted.
Yes, you're attracted to, you're interested in, you're curious about.
Curious.
But again, passionate is stronger. So I would say,
Okay.
here's how I'll demonstrate it. The strongest to the weakest. I would say adore. We put that. That's the number one strongest.
Number one, adore.
Passionate is a little weaker than adore. Um, yeah, fascinated and then interested.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so those are kind of the levels of interest.
Adore.
So if you really love something, oh, I adore it.
I adore.
Or you're passionate, a little weaker than adore, but it's still very strong feeling.
Mhm.
And then fascinated is more like I'm curious, I want to learn more, it's just an interesting topic. And then interested is the weakest, but it's still within motivated, that you feel like you want to learn more or see more. So it is a desire in your heart that makes you look or search for this topic. So you want
Mhm.
to do it. It's not like someone is telling you, oh, you should do this, or they're forcing you to do it. This is something you want to do,
Mhm.
but it's the
So
weakest.
back to inspired, motivated. Sorry, inspired is use. I can use inspired. So I am inspired by uh, the teacher
Yes,
or
yeah, because
someone.
inspired comes from
People.
outside of you.
Something, the
Motivated
motivated.
comes from inside.
Correct. From inside. Okay.
Yeah, I'm motivated because I want to become more successful or I want to learn. I'm
Uh,
inspired because I heard somebody give a speech or lecture
uh,
and now it really moved my heart and I want to do this.
okay, that makes sense.
And then the linking words, the first, next, and
Good.
finally.
First, and next, second,
Yes.
finally, the subsidiary or something.
Right. And I think the how we can connect all of this would be if somebody asks you the question, why do you do the work that you do? You would say, well, first, I am motivated to earn money.
Uh,
Okay, maybe.
uh,
Next,
next.
I am very passionate about the work that I do. And finally, I am fascinated by the work I do or the topics I work with. So that's how we can connect all of them.
So I don't know the between the firstly at first.
Oh, okay. It's a different style, but when you're writing or speaking, you have to be
Ah,
consistent. Consistent. So, example, if you're explaining to someone and you say first this, and then the next thing you would say next or second
yes.
this,
Mhm.
you don't say first, secondly. That's not consistent.
Mhm.
So consistent is you have to be the same the whole time. So if you say
Uh,
firstly, you must say secondly
mm,
and thirdly and fourthly, etc. That is consistent. That gives you higher speaking ability and writing ability. That's the consistency. And then the other side of it, if you say first, you must say second. You cannot say secondly.
mm, that's just a rule.
Yeah, it's a rule that my professor told me, and I think it's a very good rule. She was one of the experts in learning languages and her writing and all of that. And um,
Mm.
She taught me the three C's of writing. So consistent, concise, and I
Concise.
forgot the third one. Clear. Yeah, clear, concise,
Clear.
consistent. Yeah, be clear to the point.
Mm.